Andrew McCart, IFLTV, delighted to be joined by the champ, Regis Prograis. Regis, first and foremost, mate, like I said before I pushed record there, man, it's been a pleasure interviewing you and meeting you for the first time 7 years ago. Yeah, I mean, quite shocked for me. Well, not a shock, but it was like hearing you say you retired from boxing, knowing how much you love the sport. I was like, damn, man, it's an end of an era for yourself. So, was it a hard thing to do, leading up to that fight and at the end of the fight?
No, bro. I look when I was in camp. I didn't like when I was in camp, bro, for the fight. One day I woke up and I didn't feel it no more. Literally, I just didn't feel it, bro. I didn't want to be there, bro. It was like probably a month before the fight, maybe 3 weeks, 3 weeks before the fight. And I remember, bro, it was like a Thursday, and I got in the gym. I was jump roping, and I didn't want to be there. I always like so. My routine was this: I would, as soon as I wake up, as soon as I wake up, I meditate. I meditate for 10 minutes. Then, of course, I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, stuff like put my clothes on. I go downstairs. Then you gotta take these supplements. You gotta fill your water bottles up, do all that. And I was just wasn't feeling it from the start of my day. I just wasn't feeling. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to do it no more. And then I was in the gym, I was jump roping and then did all my drills and I just wasn't feeling it. So for me, honestly, bro, I knew me and my team, bro, we knew I was gonna retire like before the fight. Like I knew I just didn't want it no more. I didn't want to do boxing no more. I mean, I'm still gonna be I'm still gonna be in the gym all the time. I'm still gonna be lifting and training. I probably still spar and stuff like that every now and then because I don't have problems, but I know that, bro. Like I fight with a lot of heart. I fight with a lot of passion, a lot of heart, and eventually, I'm gonna. If I keep fighting like this, I will get hurt. And I love boxing. I do. I love boxing, but I go to these I go to these Hall of Fames and stuff with these older fighters, these great champions, and a lot of them messed up, bro. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be all messed up and stuff like that. Because a lot of these older guys, these great champions, they end up penniless, they end up broke, and then they end up, with their brain scrambled. They have bad issues. They have slurred speech, all that type of stuff. I don't want to be like that. That's a person I don't want to be like. And for me, I do feel like, yeah, I'm 30. Like I read about it. I have books about this stuff. And really, after 35, that's when you start feeling it. That's when you keep getting hit after 35. That's when it really can affect you. And I'm 37, so like I said, I know that I do fight with a lot of passion, a lot of heart, and I don't quit. And I know that'll be my detriment one day. I can really, really get hurt if I keep doing that. So it's like, man, it's boxing. It's a young man's game, and I can still do it, bro. My name can generate. I never been stopped, and that's the one thing I'm proud of. I fought big punches, real big guys, and I never been stopped. I've been hurt a few times, but I never been stopped. I never quit. But that's in my DNA to just not quit. And I think that if I keep going, bro, I probably would. I probably would get hurt because. I can't. I don't have quit in me. I just don't, bro. Like if I'm fighting, bro, you could throw a hammer at me. I don't care, bro. I'm just not gonna quit. That's the type of person I am. But eventually, health wise, that'll be bad.
Regis, I've known you for, like I said, 7 years now, and you've always set yourself goals. It was always become a world champion, unify the division, undisputed, become a two-time world champion. Are you
Mhm.
satisfied with how your career panned out?
Yes, I am. I'm not gonna lie. I'm satisfied because listen, one of the people I look up to probably the most, and not for outside and inside the ring was George Foreman. That's one of the people because George Foreman did so much stuff. He came back. He stopped. He came back years later, became a two-time champion. That's really what I want to do so long. But after I became a two-time champion, I didn't have goals. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have no goals, bro. But the thing is, after I became a champion, a two-time champion, I was the free agent. So they threw so much money at me, like you can't, But
Mm.
really, I'm not gonna lie, my passion was going after that. After I beat Zepeda for the belt, I didn't have the passion just left. It did. But the crazy thing, bro, I made so much money after that. I was a free agent, so Top Rank came at me with a lot of money. Eddie Hearn at me with a lot of money. So it was like, damn, I have so much money on the table. You can't. It's hard to walk away from it. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. After that, after when I was younger, coming up in my career, bro, I would watch boxing all day long. I would literally just sit and watch boxing all day long. If I'm not read, I would read about boxing like 6 hours a day. I would read so many books. I would watch boxing, just fighters after all these great fighters. I have thousands of fights at home, over here. But after that, bro, I didn't have the passion no more. I didn't, and it was like I said, it was after Zapata, bro. That was 5 fights ago. I didn't have the passion, but my name brought so much money. I got paid so much. It was like it's hard to, it's hard to quit something when they give you this is this much more money. This so much more money and stuff like that. But yeah, bro, I feel like I accomplished everything I wanted to. I'm the only. For me, I started in New Orleans, bro, and I want to be known in New Orleans as a fighter. And now I'm the only two-time world champion in the history of the city. So I'm proud. I'm proud of everything I did. I'm glad, and I can retire with peace. I feel peaceful now, right now. It's not like I'm guessing things or I want to do this, I want to do that. I still feel I can fight a lot. I still feel I can beat a lot of fights. I texted my manager last night. I said, man, what's his name? The dude out there that got a belt, Lewis Crocker. Lewis Crocker. I said, man, I can beat him. And he was like, no. He said, no. I'm like, I'm playing. I said I can beat him, but I'm not. I don't want to fight. I literally don't want to fight. But I know I can. I know I can beat him. I know I get that belt.
There's
But
that fire's still burning a little bit. There's a little light, little flame.
listen. I'm gonna still. It's burning. I'm gonna still spar. I'm still gonna do it. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm definitely not gonna be outside. I'm never gonna get out of shape. I'm still gonna. When you see me again, bro, I'm probably gonna like. I want to gain like 20 pounds of muscle. I do want to start lifting this. I want to. I want to lift. I probably start rolling, doing jujitsu and stuff like that. But I don't want to be a professional fighter because and just because the training camp, bro, training camp is so hard and it's so structured, you have to be so disciplined. I feel like I don't want to be disciplined no more. I want to do what I want, every day.
Mm.
I don't want to have to wake up and I gotta do this and I have to do this. I have to do this. I'm just done with that. So yeah, I might still have to fight. I go spar with them. For me, if I go spar with these guys and know like, all right, I whoop them in sparring, then that's good enough for me. Like I don't have to compete because competing, being under the lights and sparring, they're two different things.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Listen, going to the fight itself, watching the fight, and I hope you don't mind me saying this. It was a lot of people were saying it as well in the media that you looked a little bit off. Your balance
Mhm.
looked off. Your timing looked off.
Right.
Now, and I read some of that you were terrified or petrified leading up to the fight, the Conor Benn fight.
Mhm.
What you obviously there was a lot of questions about he's injured, he's not injured. You came out and obviously had to say your thing. You had to say, listen, I'm training camps like this. But leading up to that fight, what was going on in the camp? Why were you terrified? And can you explain why maybe your balance was off a little bit?
I have bad balance. Like, and for me, that's why, like I said, bro, that's why I retire, bro. I have bad balance, bro. Like not regular. Like right now, if I get up and stuff like that, sometimes I might lean over my front. I might lean over my toes, my feet and stuff like that. And so I naturally have bad balance, and it came from boxing. The effects came from boxing, so I know this already. So and then like I said in camp, we do get hurt, but for this camp, bro, I got hurt 4 times in camp. That's why I was scared of the fight. I wasn't, and it wasn't kind of been. It was like I was scared of the event being so many eyes on me. I didn't know how I was gonna perform. Like so. The first thing happened in camp, bro. Like I had a rib injury. Like something happened. Somebody hit me. I think I spawned Sean Porter. Sean Porter, huge, big old dude. Sean Porter hit me in my rib or something like that. It was him and some other guy, and they hit me in the first round, and I did 10 rounds that day. And man, my rib was just messed. Something happened to my rib inside internally, whatever it was, something happened to it. So that was on a Friday. So Friday and Saturday, I literally, bro, I couldn't even move. Like I couldn't lay down. I had to lay on my back all the time. Then by Sunday it was a little better. I went back to gym. I had to take off a few days. I went back to gym on Wednesday. Then um I had my vision, my eye, right, my left eye. When I was sparring and somebody thumbed me in my eye, bro. I got thumbed and I saw 3 different people, literally. And then after same thing, I fight with a lot of heart, so I kept going. I'm like I kept going, right. So then I think a few days later, I was doing strength conditioning and I was doing some box jumps and I fell. I fell on my right hand. So and my hand actually it still hurt. So and like when I bend it this way, bend it up or down. Now if I when it's open. Now if I ball my fist, I'm not gonna I can punch a wall right now. But when I open my hand and bend it up or down, I can feel it. So I was just like I did have a lot of injury and then some with my jaw and stuff like that too. So I just thought, man, I didn't know what was gonna happen in the fight that if my injuries hold up, if they be fine. Everybody was, talking about me and being injured and stuff. And like I did, yeah, I got injured in camp, but I just didn't know if it was gonna hold up or not. But as far as but the thing is, bro, I don't want to take nothing away from Conor Benn because everybody think, oh, I'm gonna take things away from him. Yeah, I was injured, but none of that stuff happened in the fight.
Mm.
I was shattered my hand. Nothing happened with my jaw. nothing happened with my rib. My eye. I mean, he hit me in my eye, but I think I think it closed in like the last round or something like that. Not even closed. It was just I can see smaller in the last round. So nothing happened. So I don't want people to see it and say, oh, you take it away from Conor Benn because he was, I was hurt. Like none of that stuff happened. And as far as my legs, bro, I naturally have bad balance, and I've been having it for years, and that's why I feel like, man, and that's the main reason I'm retired, because I don't want it to get worse. Like how I am right now, I'm good. I can probably improve it. Like when I was doing a lot of footwork drills, I was improving my balance, and I probably get back to that now just to improve my balance. But I can do that stuff if I improve my balance and then I get hit in the head. It's like it brings it back. It'll bring it back down again. So that's why. But yeah, I just have naturally, bro. I just naturally have bad balance.
I know you say you don't want to take anything away from Conor Benn, but what do you make of Conor Benn as a fighter then? What do you make of his power? What do you make of his movement? I mean, again, I saw an interview where you said that you can see his punches. There's punches you don't see, and you can see everything that Conor was throwing. Can you
Mhm.
just elaborate a little bit more on Conor Benn as a fighter?
I think I saw Josh Taylor said, somebody said he's British level. He is. I think he's a British level fighter. I don't think he's not world level, not yet. Now, will he be there one day? Maybe he would, maybe he not. But he's just not that world class level yet. I do see he does hit. He hits very hard. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of Ben does hit hard, but you see it all coming. So I did a bunch of interviews talking about this. Like, if he's throwing a right hand, all right, either I can slip the right hand, I slip the right hand to my right, or I can just keep my hand up, and then I know he's coming back with the hook. He did the same thing every time. So you throw right hand, duck the right hand, block the hook, duck the right hand, block the hook. That's what he will do a lot. So he wasn't tricky. Kind of wasn't a tricky fighter. He does have a lot of power. He hits hard, but you can see a lot of stuff coming. And he hits hard with really just the right hand. Like the jab. He was jabbing me a few times, but I took the jabs. Sometimes he was jabbing, I just knocked the jab down or something like that. And it wasn't he didn't make his jab as a weapon. It was just like a throwaway punch, bait, like a range finder, but it wasn't it, like he's not that he's not that big of a threat. Basically, I think he is that kind of been his I think he is, like Josh Taylor said, like British level, but royal level right now. I don't. Now he's definitely not world level right now.
Obviously, he's number one with the WBC at 147. Ryan Garcia, the Rolly Romero's there, Devin Haney. Now he's talked about the Ryan Garcia fight quite a lot.
Hmm.
How does you've been in there with Devin Haney? I don't know who you've sparred. You've probably sparred guys like Shakur Stevenson that's talked about. You've probably sparred Ryan Garcia. I'm not too sure. But
Hmm.
how does Conor Benn fare at 147 against the American guys that we know of that I've just mentioned there?
I don't think he'll do good. I think, well, all right, with Rolly, maybe. I think he'll, because Rolly's aqua, but Rolly has power, but kind of Ben has power too, right? Well, Ryan, I think that I think he can't have a chance because he has a punch chance. He does have a lot of power, but I think Ryan does have better skills. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see him at all with Devin or Shakur. No, I share the ring with both of them, and they do have their skills are just way higher. That's the thing, and Shakur is smaller, but still, I think Shakur was saying that he wanted like a rehydration clause. He don't need it. I don't think he even need a rehydration clause for that. Like I think Shakur skill wise, I think that kind of won't be able to touch Shakur, to be honest. Like I don't think he really won't. And Devin, skill wise too, and Devin is bigger. Like the thing is, like, so when I fought Devin, bro, we fought at 140. Devin was bigger than Conor when I fought him at 140, and I fought Conor at 150. So Devin is big, so I don't think that, and Devin has skill. So I think that with those two guys, for me, I mean, it's boxing, everybody has a chance, but I feel like with those two guys, he doesn't have a chance at all. Like with Devin and Shakur, I don't think he has a chance at all. With Rolly and Ryan, I think he has a bigger chance. With Ryan, I think he could probably catch Ryan. I think Ryan does have better skills than him, but he has a puncher chance. He has power. But like I said, with Devin and Shakur, I don't think he even has a puncher chance because I don't think he will be able to hit him. Both those guys don't want to be hit. They don't like to be hit, and I don't think that he will have a puncher chance at all with those two guys. But like I said, with Ryan. If I had to give a percentage wise, I would say like a 30% chance with Ryan, of winning the fight. Maybe 40% chance with Ryan. With Rolly, I would say 50. To be honest, I would say 50-50 with Ryan. But With Shakur, with Shakur, I would say he got a maybe like a 5% chance, and with Devin, maybe like a 15% chance. I think. It's just like I can't see it. I can't see it, man.
I know you fought him at 150, but we seen him up at 160 against Chris Eubank. Do you feel like Conor maybe should go up in weight? You think
Yes, he
yes?
should go up. I think he should go up. I do think he should go. I don't think he should probably fight at 154, 160 because he has that build. He doesn't like these guys at 140 and 147. They're longer. They have different type of body types and stuff like that. Usually, you start getting into the 160s and stuff like that. The 154, 160. These guys they shorter and cockier and kind of built like that. He has the size. He can have the size to probably be like a 160 pounder. Because he's short and he's kind of stocky and he's a fighter. At the end of the day, he gets in there. He's the wants to fight, but with the speed with these guys that's fast, I just don't see it, man. Like these guys, I think they'll be too fast. Like kind of, I saw a lot of those things. That shit, I'm 37. I saw a lot of that stuff coming from Connor. So yeah, I don't think that. I think he probably should. I think Eddie said it too. He probably should go up, and I think he probably should. He probably should go up to like 54 or 160 so he can, what I understand about he likes to lift weights too. He likes to pick up on weights and stuff like that. So, if he does that, he can pick up on his weights and don't worry about that stuff. But at 47, that might be too small for him. Those guys they're quick and the speed. I think the speed will it'll be hard for him to deal with the speed.
Can I go? I'll go back to you then, Regis, man, because like I say, I've followed your career for a long time, a very, very, very long time. Now, you mentioned that you wanted to be known in New Orleans. You're the only two-time world champion from New Orleans. Now, with all
Mhm.
that experience, all you've traveled the world, you fought. I've been to Dubai, saw you fight in Dubai. I saw you fight in London. I saw you fight in the US. You've traveled the world in this sport. This sport has gave you many opportunities. Now,
Yes.
with your knowledge and your experience, would you stay in boxing and do a manager's role, a coach's role for the kids in New Orleans, maybe a gym in New Orleans, and bring the next Regis Prograis, the next generation through from New Orleans? Is that
For
something?
sure.
Is that
That's
something you'd like to
exact.
do?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I definitely want to do that, bro. I do want to share my knowledge and experience with people. Man, people been hitting me up already that manage me. They want me to manage them. They want me to promote them. They want me to train them and stuff. I'm just not interested
Hey,
right now
I'll tell
because
you right now, Rougarou promotion sounds good.
it does. It does. We're gonna listen. I'm gonna do it. I just want to chill right now because another thing that I feel like I want to retire. I've been feel like this though. Like even for me, bro. Even after the JoJo fight, I want to retire. But I feel like this because like I said, the monotony of you have to be in training camp. You have to do the same thing over and over again, and and then you just gotta miss so much stuff. My kids are
Mm.
getting big. I got 3 kids, bro. So my kids are getting bigger now, and I don't want to keep missing everything. Like I brought my daughter is in gymnastics. She like a star. Every time she go to a tournament, she come back with 5, 6 medals with tiara, crowns, rings, flowers, all kinds of stuff. And I'm missing things. I don't like to keep missing. So like right now, I don't want to be so busy. Especially like at least that was my career. When I missed, it was my career. But if I be a manager or especially a trainer, not a manager but a trainer, then I'll have to miss for somebody else's career, and I'm not ready to do that right now. But I do want to get back to your question. I do want to share my knowledge. I've been around. I've been like even like. I got so much knowledge, bro. Like with the business side, with the boxing side, with the
Mm.
mental side, with the physical side. I have so much different things that I can share with so many different people. So I feel like yeah, I would do that one day. Open a gym, do all that stuff, share my knowledge. I want to do it, but it has to be for me. It got to be the right time. That's the main thing. On the right time, on my time.
Okay, you've also been in some fantastic fights and fight of the year contenders. For you though, looking back at your career, what fight stands out for you? When you look at your box record, you look at your list of fights and fighters you've been in with, which fight stands out for you?
Um, the fight with Ndango. I think the fight with Ndango is that's the one that stand out for me a lot. I mean, not the most because Undango was a unified champion,
Mhm.
and Crawford stopped him in 3 rounds, and I went out there. I stopped him the next fight in 2 rounds. I stopped. I was whooping him, and then not Jojo, Joel Diaz Jr. I went out there. He was supposed to beat me. I fought on Showbox like 5 times. And every time I fought, everybody was supposed to beat me, and I destroyed. Literally, I think I went all knockouts on Showbox. So I destroyed him, and that was for the Hall of Fame weekend in New York. Um, Of course, the relic fight when I fought for the belt, that was my
Mhm.
first time becoming a world champion. Terry Flanagan, I like that fight just because the fight before that, I fought in New Orleans, the first big fight, and then I was real nervous. I didn't perform. I knocked the dude out, Velasco, but I can't. I didn't do really good. I felt like in my mind I didn't do good. And then after I came back with Flanagan was important because I came back. I went to the same arena in New Orleans and I fought good. I boxed Terry Flanagan. He never been dropped. I dropped him I dropped him. We did 12 rounds. Everybody was saying I couldn't do 12 rounds. That was important to me. Of course, after that, Josh Taylor, that was a big fight. That was important. That was my first loss. Still feel like I won. We can argue about that, right? But that was a good fight, man. That was a real good fight. And at the time, like I was stopping everybody, and like Josh Taylor stood there. Josh Taylor stood there and he fought it out with me because I feel like I was unstoppable at that time in my life. Like, bro, nobody was in front of me. And Josh Taylor, he took those punches. So he deserved to get the win because he did take those punches from me, and I heard him a few times. Then for me, I lost the belt, and I had to wait 3 long years to get the belt again. So the first fight back after that, I fought Juan Heraldez,
That's right.
and I stopped him. Everybody was saying, "Oh, you go." He was saying, "Oh, my time is up," and all that shit. I've been a champion. My time is up, and I'm not gonna do this no more. And I went out there. I stopped him in the third round. And after that, and Tyrone McKenna was a good fight. I like that fight because it was
That
in
was
Dubai.
Dubai. That was Dubai.
Dubai.
Yes.
I had fun with the fight. Tyrone McKenna was probably my favorite opponent because how funny he was and the character he was. I did like he was like my favorite opponent. I like just everything about the fight in Dubai. Just everything about that fight was great. And that was the first fight I made weight again because I missed weight twice. Um, and then I came and everybody was looking at the scales and see if I was gonna make the weight, and I made the weight. I had a nutrition and I made the weight. And then after that, the Zepeda fight, becoming a two-time world champion. Zepeda was a killer at that time. He had two knockout contenders of the year, real bad knockouts, put both those guys in the hospital. And I went out and I stopped him. Um, and of course, after that, I mean, I feel like that's when my career. I'm not gonna say went downhill, but that's when I fell out of love with this. I feel like my passion I didn't fall out of love with the sport. My passion kind of wavered a little bit because I accomplished everything I wanted. I really wanted to become a two-time champion.
That's what I was
You
going
know?
to say. That was the moment you became, because I can remember doing interview out with you, and it was almost like every interview I did with you, it was like, yo, bro, I'm becoming a two. I want to become a two. I want to become a two-time, two-time,
Yes,
two-time. It was constantly two-time, two-time, and then you done it. And is that sort of like the point where, like you said there, that as soon as you became two-time world champion, it was almost like, right, I'm done.
that's it. I'm done. It was like I'm done. I don't have the passion for. I don't have the. I still loved it. I still love boxing and stuff like that. But it was like I didn't have the passion like I once had, and I do understand it. And I forgot how old I was when I did that. But it was like I just didn't have it no more. I didn't have the passion no more. But then, like I said, I was a free agent. I was the highest free agent in the world at that
Mhm.
time. I was, newly became a world champion, and then I wasn't signed with nobody. So then, Top Rank came with these big offers, and Matchroom came with these big offers, and it was like it's hard to you can't turn that stuff down, man. It's hard to turn that down. So I just kept going, really just because. And then after that, it's just I think it just kind of went downhill. Like after that, it was just. Yeah, I fought Zorilla. That wasn't a good fight. Then I fought Haney and Devin. He boxed me, and then Catterall. And I was trying to get it back with Catterall. I'm not gonna lie. With the Catterall fight, I was like, I'm gonna whoop Catterall. I was like, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get it. I'm starting to get that back. I was trying to start to get it back with Catterall because the Devin camp was just for me. The Devin camp was just terrible. It wasn't a fucking good camp at all. Mentally I was all over the place. But Catterall, I was getting more focus. I was starting to turn and getting more focused again, but I wasn't all the way there yet. And then I was supposed to fight Duarte, and then I knew the end was near because I had to pull out a fight. I never pulled out a fight in my life before that. With the walk day, I fell at my house, bro. I fell here. I was here and I fell and I messed myself up bad. Like I was like, damn, how I pull out a fight 2 weeks before the fight, and I had to pull out the fight, and I was like, bro, like I never pulled out in my life before, and I had to pull out because I injured myself. And so then I knew for me after that, I knew the end was kind of near, like when I injured myself. Because usually like I never injured myself in camp ever in my life. And so I had to pull out that fight, and then wait a few months. Then I started going to Vegas and train. And then did a JoJo fight, and really after JoJo fight, I feel like all right, yeah, I feel like all right, this should be because it was a good fight. It was a war, and I got out unscathed. My face wasn't messed up or nothing like that. I was good, but then they called me for the Conor Benn thing, really. And I'm gonna tell you, bro, to be honest. with this whole situation, like I was having problems at home for a while, So I went to Vegas honestly to run away from my problems. Really, like it's a little better now, but really I went to Vegas just to run away. I go to train in Vegas, but I didn't have nothing supposedly coming up because the deal was I was supposed to fight Arnold Barboza on March 14th. But I was out there training, but I never got a contract. Nobody never said nothing. So I'm just training, sparring, doing all that stuff, but I never got a contract. So they offered me Arnold Barboza, and then they tried to give me Frank Martin on that fight when he fought on the Ryan Garcia card. But they offered me like on a 3 weeks notice. So I was like, of course, and I didn't want to fight Frank Martin anyway because it's nothing in there for me. So for me, I just stayed in the gym. I stayed training, and they called me with this. They called me with the Conor Benn situation. I was like, yeah, let's do that. And I feel like, all right, this is for me, this is a good, this is a perfect, not a good, but it's a perfect last fight situation. And that's why that happened.
Well, Regis, listen, I've got to say thank you. Like I said to you before, I texted you last night, thanking you for your time and all the interviews you've gave me, like this one as well. I do appreciate it. I really do. And I can remember the first time I interviewed you, and I don't know if you remember this. I think we were in Texas. It was for I think it was Ramirez was fighting.
Ramirez is fighting Hooker.
That
Maurice
was
Hooker.
right, hookah, and we were at the top of the rooftop pool. And we were talking,
Yes.
and you said, like, I'll whoop everybody's ass. You knew I was Josh Taylor's friend, and you said, I'll whoop Josh
Yeah.
Taylor's ass. And you said to me, this is what you've done. I'll even whoop your ass. And you pointed to me like that.
Yeah.
And it's just little moments like that that made me a fan of yours because you always had a laugh. You were always joking and having fun with everything you were doing. And
Right, right,
even when it
right.
came to the interviews and stuff like that, you weren't serious. You never
Hmm.
turned down an interview. You would always give everyone your time. And for that, listen, thank you so much. And I honestly do hope that you stay in boxing in some capacity.
Listen.
Yeah,
I think the thing is, I think y'all gonna see me more than what y'all saw me. When I was an active fighter, you can't travel to do all these events because you gotta train.
yeah.
You gotta stay here and train. Even when I didn't have a fight schedule, I still would stay in the gym. I still would train. I still would be on the schedule. But I feel like I don't have that. I don't have to worry about that anymore. You're gonna see me probably at way more fights, way more events. I'm definitely gonna stay in boxing. I'm gonna share my knowledge with everybody. I'm gonna keep doing stuff, bro. I feel like y'all gonna see me. Really, you probably gonna see me more, because I got so much stuff going
Good,
on.
good.
Of course, get these. I tell people, everybody, I still got the book out. We got that. That's on
Where can you
Amazon
get
right
where can
now.
you where can you get the book?
Amazon. This is on Amazon. Grab that. That's on Amazon. And really, and then we on the way to drop the part two. We getting the part two right now. Most likely, it's gonna be movies. I already talked to people about movies and stuff like that. So, bro, y'all gonna see me probably way more than what y'all been seeing because I plan on going. There's a bunch of fights going, and I'll be way more free. And I know like I know I'm be way busier, bro. Like I feel like when I was I say when I was a boxer, in my career, I feel like it slowed me down a lot, from what I really want to do. But now it's like, all right, it's over now. I can really expand. I can really open my wings and kind of do what I want right now in business, in the boxing business where I can do that. Instead of being an athlete, I can do too many different things. So y'all see me way more, bro. Way more.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Listen, Regis, as always, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for taking time out and doing this for
Oh,
me and
that's right.
IFLTV. And listen, I hope to see you not just at a show in the US, but back in the UK. I'm pretty sure you've got a number of fans here in the UK as well.
I'm
So,
pretty sure y'all got a bunch of fans. Look, most likely, bro, we could probably do a book tour out there. I'm gonna try. That's what we
look,
probably set
Regis,
up.
I'm on Amazon right now as we speak, brother.
My dog, that's what I'm talking about. My man, thank you,
Hey,
brother.
see,
Yes.
I'm on Amazon right now. I was typing it as you were talking. All right,
Yes,
brother.
sir,
Listen,
bro.
Regis, I
Yeah, bro.
appreciate you, brother, man. Have a good rest of your day. And like I
Hmm.
said, hopefully see you soon.
Yes, sir. See you soon, bro.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
bro.
bro.
Thank you.
Yep.